I kind of like Bosnia, out of all the Balkan countries, and it's a great pleasure. I remember when Sanya invited me to Sarajevo. For me, that was the first time, I think 2 years ago, after COVID, and my wife said, "Are you sure you are going to that place?" I mean, to God's glory, today we are seeing the reality of that visit. Once again, we want to, myself and James, and I think we should also have Dr. Ivana. Please come. Let's appreciate her. She's part of the team, and I call her the Balkan Princess. Now, we were so sure that we'll come to this, whereby we'll ask ourselves, after this forum, what next? And to guide against talk show, because honestly, as Doctor said, he flew all the way from Lagos. He missed his flight. Missed his flight in Paris and all this stress. However, because of his determination to back us up here in the Balkans, to see our dream to become real, he made that sacrifice, and we are here today. We also want to thank all of us that flew in all across Balkan. However, for us to be able to have a proper coordination of the business, investment, etc., that we've talked about today between Nigeria and the Balkans, because we are not only representing Bosnia or Serbia, and we wouldn't want to be signing 2, 3, 4 MOUs. So we want to make sure that there is a platform where we can coordinate. When I say we, the three of us here under this platform, coordinate all these things we've talked about in partnership with the Nigerian embassy to make sure that we pass the necessary, verified, needful information back to Nigeria. And we're so honored to have the Lagos Chamber of Commerce as at least our entry point to Nigeria. On that note, before I pass over to James, we also want to do the honor to make this public today and call Her Excellency to be the matron of this. This is basically for you and also to at least for your interest in this Balkan, because it was under your office that we like the spirit you gave. Remember, we did in Budapest, in Zagreb, and now we're in Balkans, bringing across all the Balkans together. And I said to myself and to my colleagues that let's do the honor to appreciate you to be the matron of this hall. All right. Thank you so much. All right, James, over to you. Just speak briefly.
Okay, so I know everyone's eager to get to lunch, and thanks so much for your time and also putting up with my awful voice as I'm suffering a bit today. But I think you're right that there is some, the president of the Lagos Chamber, that there's still some quite old-fashioned views on doing business in Africa, views from 20 or even many decades before that. And the fact is that it's changed. And we need to educate our business leaders and politicians in these markets about the higher growth, more dynamic opportunities, faster moving business opportunities that exist in Nigeria. For example, in my opinion, it can be easier and quicker to get things done in West Africa than it can be in the more mature markets in Western Europe or even in Serbia and this region. I'd like to thank Michael as well for over the last 3 years through and since the pandemic, effectively creating the framework and the environment that's leading us to where we are today. So this is very much an entry point to re-establish and rebuild the trade and investment relationship between the Balkans and Nigeria. So in our view, yes, we are at a very low level of trade currently and very negligible amounts of investment. Currently, Serbian exports to Nigeria are spices, tobacco, and some machinery and commodity products. I think it's even around $10 million per annum. So it's truly negligible. Where we think we can re-establish and rebuild the relationship is to focus on completely new areas where Serbia has some strengths, which are defense and security, financial services, financial technology, agricultural products, construction, infrastructure, renewables, mining, medical technology, and so on. For us, we view that Balkan businesses can use Nigeria as a hub to access Nigeria and the wider ECOWAS states. Nigerian exports to Serbia currently up to $350,000 per year since the pandemic. So it's been relatively low, but the pandemic has meant that there's restricted our ability to trade. Those exports included cut flowers, cocoa, spices, and some metal products, particularly aluminium. Where we see the opportunity for growth is in oil and gas, human capital, for example, in the construction projects in Serbia, access to our regional markets through a Belgrade hub, which would then allow onward access into Russia, European Union, and so on. We noted that the Ugandan president's visit at the beginning of August to Serbia, the signing of a trade agreement, the opening of a business hub for Uganda has taken place. But that's a tiny market in comparison to Nigeria. Egypt has signed, or is in the process of signing, a trade agreement. And South Africa in this region has invested in corporate real estate, so offices, retail parks, and so on. So we see that there is an opportunity, and there's a leadership opportunity that Nigeria can take through the business hub that we will create in cooperation with the Lagos Chamber and obviously the regional chambers of commerce. That's broadly it from me.
Exactly. Ivana.
First of all, to thank you all for being here, for supporting our idea, and hopefully this will be useful for all of you being here personally or online. I would also like to specifically thanks to Michael and James for making this dream and vision a reality starting from today. And I would like to say that I'm the co-founder of Health Tech Club, who emerged in Serbia officially in 2018. We were gathering the health tech ecosystem of Serbia, meaning the patient associations, research organizations, government, regulatory bodies, startups, innovative projects, etc., many other players, industry, of course, investors, who will all support and organize the innovations in developing country settings, which is Serbia. So we have created a model that is today functioning as a cluster. And what is interesting that in 2020, during the Corona time, we have also won the award for basically transferring this model from Serbia to other developing countries by the International Telecommunication Union. And it was the idea of actually creating chapters of what is happening here in Serbia and transferring this knowledge, experiences, investors, ideas, connections, etc., to all the countries. So this is also how it matches with what we will do in Nigeria Balkan Business Hub. And hopefully the health and pharmaceutical industry will be one of the connections between Western Balkans and the West Africa, and hopefully then the rest of Africa. So I'm very happy that this is the initial event, and hopefully we will proceed with events in Lagos and in many other occasions starting from today. Thank you very much, and yeah.
Thank you. So we will be in touch with the various Chamber of Commerces. We'll kind of create a website that will only be accessible by a registered member of the chambers here in the Balkans and also in Nigeria. So we promise that the needful data, as you said, I mean, because Dragoner, we'll make sure that we have data available so that we can work with. We'll also be working with some researchers and business institutions to make it formidable. Once again, thank you very much for your time. I think now we will need to have a group picture before lunch, because some may want to go. Alex, will you coordinate the picture side. Then after the picture, then we'll go for lunch. And after lunch, as Melina said, we'll now come back to have the B2B part of the day.
Hello, could we have everyone come to the front, please?
James, congratulations.
So we need everyone to move over here. Yeah. So move kind of, you'll be So this is going to be a little confusing, but I need the last person to stop right here. So I need you guys to go around. Yes. And if maybe you guys come up so some people
All right, so
Okay, we can make a second line.
Yes.